People always ask how I balance my family life with 400 shows a year. I'm just doing what I love with the people I love. It's my magic life.
I like Wes Iseli. I like everything about him.
Happy Halloween! Woo. This is our Halloween episode we do every year. This year we're trying to make it a little different. I said, Natalie, we've talked ghost stories. We've talked other stuff. What are we going to do this year? She said, I don't know. We'll wing it. We'll make it work. Well, we didn't. She did this much research. She did this much. We had 45 shows at the farm. They are all done now. That was this month. We also had shows over the weekends. Not counting those. And taking the kids trick-or-trunking at the church that we did.
Yeah.
Along with the 45 shows. We've been busy, guys. Mm-hmm. And
look at my cup. It says Good Witch.
It says the Good Witch?
It says Good Witch.
Good Witch, and it's like a cauldron.
Yeah.
Mine says coffee, scream, and sugar. We're having apple cider. I feel like I'm ADD because you cut me off in my sentence.
I wanted to show off my cup.
But we got some stuff for you guys tonight. So I thought it would be cool. All right, first of all, for you guys watching, I just bought that this year. I'm going to hold it up so the camera can see.
Don't break it.
I love the story of the Headless Horseman. Absolutely love it. The Bing Crosby one from, I think, the 50s of Disney, where Bing Crosby sings. And
yeah.
That's my absolute favorite. My dad had the video store. There was a VHS tape. I still have it. And it's got that. It's got Ghostbusters, but it was Mickey, Donald, and Goofy were the Ghostbusters. I think it was called Ghost Hunters. And
they
go into an old haunted house.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And then there's on that same, it was a 3-pack my dad had. It was 3 movies in one. Was Trick or Treat, Trick or Treat, Trick or Treat, Trick or Treat for Halloween. It was, I think it was called Trick or Treat with Donald Duck. But the original, I've done research on this. Not even for this episode, just in life.
General.
In life.
Okay.
That movie came out during the war. So was that World War II?
I don't know.
All right, it was filmed during World War II. The Sleepy Hollow movie with Bing Crosby was supposed to be an hour-and-a-half full feature for Disney.
But they didn't have the budget.
They didn't have the budget. So they put it with Mr. Toad. Whatever that Mr. Toad... I can't watch it. I grew up watching the 3-pack one. So on DVD, you have to buy it with Mr. Toad. Whatever that story is, it's not even Halloween.
Yeah.
It's like Mr. Toad goes to Congress or something. I don't know what it is.
I have no idea. I don't think I've ever watched it because you always skip it.
Oh, I don't want to see that. I want to see Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah.
But, so they didn't have the budget to do that. So they put 2 shorts together instead of 1 feature-length film because the war broke out while they were in the editing process.
I wonder what it would have been like as an hour-and-a-half film.
It would have been amazing. It was amazing as a 40-minute film.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yes,
I can recite every single line. Anyway, we found this. We were Halloween shopping back in September on date night.
Yeah.
I said, holy crap, I gotta have it. I keep it in my magic room. I just love it so much. On the camera here, it doesn't look it's showing up good as it looks, but it looks...
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It looks amazing.
Yep.
We got a skull. We got a jack-o'-lantern. This is actually a Halloween prop for a square circle I got at a magic auction. I have a couple of them. And the guy was using it to go over his square circles just for Halloween programs.
Oh, cute.
And I'm like, heck yeah, I'll use that. I'll just
That makes me think of...
keep it in my magic room.
He's got a cutout on the bottom.
Yeah. That's how you show the square circle.
No, that's how they say you should do it. Instead of cutting the top off.
You're supposed to cut the bottom.
Then you don't have to put the candle down. You just put the pumpkin on top of the candle. Also, I saw a thing where they cut off the bottom and then they used a handheld blender.
Oh, yeah.
And did around the inside, and then they said it just scoops out really easy.
Would you care if I used your handheld blender for that? Would it mess up your blender?
No.
It's a mixer. It's not a blender. It's a mixer.
That's what it is. Yeah, mixer.
So here's the thing.
That's what I was talking about.
I don't know what you're giving me tips. You don't get your hands dirty during that. You don't do it.
I know, so I'm trying to help you.
I open it. I gut it.
Yep.
I print the stencils for her.
Oh, I made making copies of them. I made the copies last year.
We have an industrial copy machine downstairs and books with We have like 5 books of stencils for jack-o'-lanterns. So, we got Willow, we got the boys, we got Lana, Natalie, and I. We have a lot of pumpkins on the front porch. You get the boys 2 little pumpkins each this year.
Well, you know what? I figured we can let them color on one, and then we can do proper drawn-on faces on the other.
Like jack-o'-lantern faces? You just give them jack-o'-lanterns, make it easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just figured they can
Let them paint one.
Yes. Let them have fun with one.
Let's do it. That's
Why not?
easy.
And then we can write their little names. We can write their names on top so we know who did which pumpkin, and go for it. That way they're in there, and they're not going to last the whole time that we're all carving pumpkins.
Oh, absolutely.
But they're going to be completely interested in what we're doing, so I figure we give them their own little project to do on a pumpkin, and they'll have fun for
you
that
don't
little bit of
last
time.
the whole time we're doing
And
pumpkins.
then done. Oh, I am done after I've carved my first pumpkin, but I want to carve my second pumpkin. So I usually do a little bit difficulter one. It went to Wi-Fi. I usually do a little bit more of a difficult one, and then I have a simpler one, and I do the difficult one first and the simple one second.
I have no idea.
I don't know if you want to switch back over, but anyway, okay.
We're still having internet issues here, and we're using my hotspot, and for some reason the hotspot jumped off. I don't know. It's on.
Okay.
I have no idea how it switches back and forth.
Okay.
So, also, we had 45 shows at the farm, so we've been running. We were shooting the candy cannon in between shows, and that thing, I almost got in a fight with an 80-year-old man jumping over a fence trying to get candy. I'm like, sir, if you break your ankle, the farm will get sued. I ain't gonna sue you. I know, sir, but there's 50 people out here, and I've told everybody not to jump.
Why are you special?
What makes you think you're special? Why would you think?
For a piece of candy.
One guy, I mean, I'm telling everybody, right? And then I'm making an example out of him for the next show. I mean, I'm not saying one old man, because he might still be there for the next show. But I said, guys, I had an older man jumping over, I don't know what I said. I had a guy jumping over the fence last show for a piece of candy. If you break your ankle, that wouldn't be cool. Just listen. Whenever the cannon shoots, it's going to go plump in the field, and you guys go trick-or-treating. It's like Easter egg hunting. They're going through the blades of grass for the candy. Mm-hmm. But if the wind gets behind us, it shot it across the highway last time. You can't help that.
You did this whole speech each time?
I would tell them, let me try to do the speech. Hey guys, are you guys ready? He's filling that thing up with 100 PSI. Do you know what that means? Pounds per square inch. If that thing was aimed at a wall, it would shoot the candy through a wall. So I need everybody to stay behind this line. Now listen, kids and adults. We've had this thing mess up a couple times. With the wind getting behind it, it has shot 2 bags of candy across the road. I don't want anybody climbing the fence. I don't want anybody crossing the highway. It has shot the cannon when the wind went this way. It shot it over to the horse arena. Don't climb the fence over there. Kids, help me police the adults. The kids were good. It was the adults that were climbing the fence. So kids, help me. Adults, do you hear me? Kids, help me police the adults. So that's what I was saying.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then I said it also, if the wind goes the other way, it could hit that tarped area over there. They have to tarp up the moon bounces on the other side with the big tarps. Uh-huh. So they're folded up real nice and neat. Uh-huh. It had never went that way, but it could. It's in the radius. Yeah. So people, please get on this side. All right, help me count down to 10.
Yeah.
And then I'm... Yeah. And then I'm running up the ladder, getting on the back of the truck, and launching that thing.
It's crazy how crazy people can get, and it's just candy.
Like, it's a piece of candy.
It's just candy.
400 pieces of candy for 75 to 100 people.
And if you didn't... Right. So everybody should get at least one piece. And if you don't, guess what? In an hour, it's happening again. But it's... Yeah.
Another launch in 60 minutes. But one guy, while the other old man was climbing over the fence... He grabbed the cow scooper, the poop scooper, the rake for the poop, and he was pulling candy to the fence so he could grab it. I'm like, sir, they use that for horse poop. What are you doing? Leave the candy alone over there. I just didn't want anybody getting hurt. But then what I didn't like about that, they're getting mad at the magician. I'm supposed to be fun. I'm supposed to be the silly elf out there on the farm, doing my little magic show, making everybody my friend. When I have to police stuff, then I become... So anyway, he knocked it off after about 30 launches. Not the owner of the farm, but one of the main guys that worked there was filling it up and everything. Because it was hard. He offered me to do it, and I said I would. but it would be hard for me to commentate and pressurize it and fill candy and launch and be the circus performer, the circus barker, carnival barker. So
plus everybody was sitting there. You said it takes
5 minutes to load that thing up.
So everybody was sitting there waiting for it to.
He knocked it off to 80 psi, and it was just launching it, and it was perfect, right in the area, right where we wanted it. It was perfect. It still spread the candy out, just like a confetti launch.
Yeah.
But it didn't go over the fences. It didn't go over yards. I mean,
Good.
it was powerful.
Good.
So powerful. That was fun. But why were we talking about the candy launch? Because we're done with the farm.
Yeah, we're all done with the farm.
That homeschool group I teach at, one of them, they hired me for a magic show before their trick or trunk that they had for the entire school.
Yeah.
And they charged admission to the show, and she's like,
Only for people that were just coming to the show.
And I only want the admission to cover your fee. So the place was sold out.
Yeah.
I mean, was there any room left at all?
No,
you walked around the back.
It was full. So.
And that was only people that came to the show. So people outside that would just stay in their trunks, putting their cars together and everything for the trick or trunk. They didn't have to pay for the show or anything, and nobody paid anything.
And they can come in and watch the show.
They could still come in and watch the show.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yep. If you were coming to the trick or trunk, you could come to the show for free. But if you were just coming for the show, she asked for $5.
Okay.
And if you wanted to donate, you could always donate.
But she said she was happy. She's already. Did she book us next year? She's already talking about it.
She's talking about it. Yeah, she hasn't booked us yet. I think she's, a little busy. But
I like stuff like that because we know where we are. We know that parking's easy.
Yeah.
We know the event's easy.
Yep.
I know everybody. I teach magic there, so you got to think there's 750 families. I have 12 students this year. Only one of my students showed up. So it's not like, hey, I get to see my kids. No, one kid showed up.
Yeah.
But
and when she booked it, she was like, please, have your kids wear their costumes and let them go trick-or-treating. I was like, you sure? Yes. Go. Yes. So we did. The trick-or-trunk was after, they did trick-or-treating after our show. So we were like the last people to get out there, which is totally fine because we were meet and greeting after the show. But yeah, our kids went around twice. They went around twice. They had a great time. Lex and Julian love being dressed up in their outfits.
Ton of candy.
Lana she makes the cutest Harley Quinn. She makes an adorable Harley Quinn.
My favorite of the three kids' costume. I don't know. It's hard.
It is hard.
It's hard. I was going to say the favorite was Julian just because of his mask.
He does great with his mask. He has a mask that goes over his head because he's Flash. And it goes over his head and he keeps it on. He doesn't want to take it off. He keeps it on. He loves it. Lex is Superman. He likes his cape.
He's showing off his cape.
And he pulls out his cape like, look. Ta-da. And Lana just... The only thing, she likes her outfit. And she's like, Mom, I want to keep the spiky bracelets and stuff after. I'm like, well, it goes with the costume. You've got to pack it up with the costume. But I want to keep it. I'd wear it. The only thing she doesn't like is that Harley Quinn has 2 pigtails. And she only wants her hair to be down. Not up in a clip, not up in a ponytail or a braid. I put her hair back in a braid for ballet on Mondays. That's all she'll allow me to do. It's going to have to be up in a bun for the recital, but that's not till March. We'll worry about that then. And she doesn't want me ever doing her hair anymore, which is kind of sad. I was like looking forward to
But
doing
her with her hair is just a mess anyway, because if she combs her hair, she's crying.
Yeah.
And I told my friend...
She's got to brush it out all her own, because if I hit one knot, she just breaks down. So she doesn't like having the pigtails, because she doesn't like her hair anything but down.
But my friend said,
cute.
I just said she was being a baby and she wasn't brushing it enough because it hurts. And my friend was like, oh, she's tender-headed. Yeah. That's a thing? I didn't know tender-headed was a thing.
Yeah, it makes sense, though. So the more you brush your hair, the more your scalp gets used to you brushing your hair. It doesn't hurt as much to...
The other thing, I'm getting red here, drinking this hot cocoa heater on. Can I turn that off?
Yeah, it's fine.
The other thing, her brushing her hair, her doing that, I had a thought. Dag on it.
I don't know. But she looked really cute with pigtails, and I'm going to make her wear the pigtails on Halloween when we go trick-or-treating and at our Halloween party. And we got that spray hair dye stuff. I don't know why I felt like I had to make the noise, but I did. And so we're going to do that. We can do that. There's a whole can, so we should be able to do it on both Halloween and
Sure.
party day, right? Okay, so She's gonna have to deal with her hair being up because that's how Harley Quinn had it.
Oh, I know what it was. So the night coming home from that event, she was complaining about a migraine because she can't get her head comfortable because she doesn't know what to do with her hair or with her head. So she had a migraine because she put her in pigtails. Why? My head doesn't rest against the headrest when I...
She says when she can't get comfortable,
she got a migraine.
Her head starts to hurt.
That don't make sense to me.
Yeah, no,
also,
I don't get it either. I could see, like, if her neck started to hurt, she was overthinking it, and then it's just like, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
So you had the migraine thing and the tenderheadedness. Also, when she was a little baby, she couldn't breastfeed properly, and we went to specialists, and we went to 3 different doctors. We finally went all the way to Roanoke, which is 100 miles from here, towards her dad, and her dad got Natalie with a lactation consultant and said her string under her tongue was too short.
A lactation consultant who actually wanted to help me be able to breastfeed.
Instead
all
of
the
just
other people were like, "Oh, it's not working. You need to give her formula." And I was like, "No, I want to breastfeed. If I can make this work, I want to make this work." And so,
also for the health of the kid, but also we're on the road. So trying to find, before we had the RV, trying to find a microwave to warm it up and trying to get that on the road when we're doing all these shows, that would have been a problem.
Yeah.
But we also had the benefit of, we're on the road, the health benefit, and we're on the road. We need to get this to work.
Right. So, yeah, she called it tongue-tied.
No, but yeah, we found somebody else that called it tongue-tied years later. She didn't call it tongue-tied.
Oh, she didn't?
No, she just said, oh, the string's short. And then somebody at one of my restaurants, when I was mentioning it to them, tongue-tied. It's like, tender-headed, tongue-tied. Okay. We find these out years later. It's like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I've heard tongue-tied before, but I didn't know that.
I had periods of fog, so I thought that's where we got it from.
No.
Tongue-tied. It wasn't from Ellie.
She said the string was short.
Yeah, so it wouldn't come out long enough, far enough, to be able to suck properly. So she would try, and she'd get a little bit, but she'd get tired real fast. And then she'd just give up. And then she'd cry because she was hungry. Yeah, I remember calling my dad when she was like a week old and being like, I don't know why she's crying. She just ate. She won't eat anymore. She's not wet. I don't know what to do. And it was because she was probably hungry.
Still hungry.
She didn't have the energy to eat. Poor thing.
All right,
but anyway, we figured it out, and she's good to go. I mean, look at her.
The other thing I want to tell you about that trick-or-treating night that we had, though, the trunk-or-treat. Mm-hmm. We stopped afterwards to get dinner. We got Chick-fil-A on the way home. We have a place that we can pull off to near Chick-fil-A with the RV and the trailer. They run out and get the food. I stay with the boys.
Yeah, isn't that convenient?
And I changed my clothes, and I had a Superman sweatshirt.
Oh,
and Lex got mad at me because he had to take his outfit on, and I got to put a Superman sweatshirt.
Yeah, he had to take his off in order to fit the seatbelt. Sorry, you said
no. I know, I said it backwards. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. No, but yeah. So he had to take his off, and I put a Superman on. That ain't fair, Dad. That's Superman. I'm Superman.
Yeah.
And he was just whatever he said. He wasn't happy.
That makes sense because that night he was talking about, Mom, I want to be Superman. Not Dad Superman, me Superman. I said, okay, yes, you are Superman for Halloween. It's okay. You can dress up. I trick or treat. I Superman. Dad Superman. I Superman. It makes sense now. He was having a whole complain fest before going to sleep.
He wasn't happy with me in the RV that night.
Yeah, he wasn't happy with me.
He was like, come here.
Go to bed too.
And he looked at it and he said, no, I take it off. We forgot the best part. The whole reason I brought up this conversation. We walked outside and we're going through the thing and I'm trying to videotape. And I look behind me. I'm like, wow, it's really done up neat outside. Mm-hmm. Kids, you're going to love this. And I take the camera and follow them out the door. And Lex says, where's the door? If you're going to trick or treat.
That's true, yeah.
He said it like 12 times. Where's the door? We had to wait in line because we were the last ones out there. And the first trunk had a line of like 15 kids. And he's looking over, where's the door?
Because they've been practicing and doing the whole, I think we said it last time, where they do their hand up in the air like they're knocking, go, pull, pull, pull. Trick or treat. They wanted to knock on the door.
Where's the door? So one of the cars, the tailgate was exposed. And I said, if you want to knock right there, dude, knock on the door and she'll give you some candy.
Yeah.
And the lady went like this, trust me. And he knocked on the tailgate. That was funny.
Trick or treat.
But the way he was saying, where's the door? Where's the door?
Yeah.
I found out something this year, 47 years old, almost, that Rankin Bass, the people that did Santa Claus is Coming to Town. They did all those stop-motion animation movies that you grew to love.
Frosty.
Yeah.
And Rudolph.
All of those. All of them. They did more than you realize. More than I realized. More than you realize.
I didn't know.
We knew they did the Easter Bunny ones because they sell those DVDs.
Yeah.
But they did Halloween ones? What? So I found that out because I'm like looking for something for the boys to watch.
Yeah.
So they don't get to choose what goes on television, really. We get to choose for them, you know?
Right.
And we have anything on YouTube, anything on Netflix, anything on Disney Plus, anything on regular cable or whatever we want to film for them or record for them. But they have a Jack-O-Lantern Rankin Bass. So Jack-O-Lantern's alive, and they have a whole thing they go through with him.
Oh.
But really, and I watched it while I was in between classes getting ready for magic class. One class ends, I have an hour break, and then the next class starts. And it was something like he was a leprechaun that was like either hiding out in there or cursed to be in there. I don't know. I don't remember. But it was cute, and I want to watch it with the family.
Okay.
But I kind of had it on in the background. I was like, shoot, I'm going to watch this. But then people will come at the door and ask me questions.
Yeah.
And I'm in the library teaching, so
Yeah.
one mom wanted to come in there and go shopping in between classes, and
Yeah.
I didn't really get to watch it. And they have a cartoon, and I think like a stop animation one as well. But I think it's the same. I'm not even sure because I don't know. Because I kind of want to wait for the family to see this. But it's like the Mad Monster Party is like the claymation thing, but I think it's like Monster Mash. They all come over, but in something I saw today, I was watching like a commercial for it or something, some guy talking about it. Dr. Frankenstein votes who's going to be the next ruler of the mansion or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And he votes his nephew, Clyde, some straight dude. There's a werewolf, there's an invisible guy, there's this guy, Frankenstein. All these people vying for the job, and they vote Clyde.
Yeah.
And Clyde's like freaking out because of all the monsters. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. Just, that's all I know about it.
Okay.
And the other one started out,
You're
I watched
it great.
But they exist. I didn't know they existed. I'm going to watch them before
It's
Halloween.
probably cute.
The other one was, Dr. Frankenstein was making like a Mrs. Frankenstein. What do you call it? The Bride of Frankenstein.
Oh.
So Frankenstein was on the roof, and they were electricity and raving it up. And,
yeah.
but I didn't get to watch that. What just happened? It just blinked.
I don't know.
Timer's still going?
Yeah.
All right, so anyway, Rankin Bass Halloween specials. You can find them on YouTube. You can get the DVDs. I have one in my shopping cart on Amazon, but I don't know. We got to watch them first to see if I want to own it.
Okay.
Let's see. Talk about old. This is freaking me out. It's blinking. I don't know what that means. It's Halloween. What's going on? Our camera's blinking. I don't know what's going on. Talk about old Halloween costumes. Do you remember Halloween costumes as a kid? What did you have?
I was a doctor when I was little. I was also
Did your dad just give you stuff from his work?
Yeah.
That's all it was?
Yeah. But at that time, I wanted to be a doctor when I grew up, so I thought it was awesome. And then I was Dorothy for many, 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 many years. But I was always Dorothy before she went to Oz because I didn't have red slippers. So I only had black shoes. So I was Dorothy before she went to Oz. But I was Dorothy for a really long time. I was a witch when I was older, when I couldn't trick-or-treat anymore. Me and my friend dressed up as witches. And we got my dad to get dry ice and do that. And we did that on my front porch, and we handed out candy and had dry ice coming out of a cauldron. That was fun. That was like the most Halloween decorations we did. Because we didn't decorate.
Your dad got you dry ice, though.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. I never get to play with dry ice.
So, I thought that was fun.
I wouldn't know where to get dry ice. Where would you get dry ice?
I have no idea.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. If I needed it right now, I wouldn't know where to get it.
Maybe he has better access because do they pack stuff in dry ice to the hospital for stuff? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Organ transplant.
Well, I don't think he stole it from an organ transplant.
He threw a heart in the floor and just took the cooler home.
I don't think so. But anyway, maybe what I was meant was if they use it, he had somebody who could ask, hey, where do you get the dry ice
He
from?
just went downstairs in the basement of the hospital.
Not stealing the dry ice.
Nobody's using this heart right now.
Hospital.
My daughter needs ice.
That's hilarious. That's not what I meant. Anyway, I was a bunny one year. There's a picture. you gotta see if my parents can find it. I don't know if they'll be able to find it or not. But there was a picture. My dad dressed up as a bunny, and I dressed up as a bunny. And I don't remember what I looked like because I remember what my dad looked like in the picture, and he looks like an evil bunny. I mean, oh my goodness. But I was so happy he was dressing up with me and going to the little Halloween party that we went to. But yeah. And I remember, so we went to a Halloween party, and I was dressed as bunny, and he was dressed as bunny, and Shannon was dressed as a clown.
Her sister.
And Nicole might have been an angel. She was but I don't remember. I'm not 100%. This was like before I was in school. Made an impression. I remember.
Wow.
But,
Did you ever do Halloween parties?
At our house?
At your friend's house, or go to your friend's house or anything?
I mean, I went trick-or-treating with my friends when we were still young enough to go trick-or-treating, but walk around like in middle school. Like, now I don't think they would let you, but we did. In middle school, we went trick-or-treating. Just a group of us got together, dressed up, had fun. I was a vampire one year, I remember, because I had a really hard time keeping the teeth in. That was hard. We might have, and then maybe we all went over to somebody's house and just hung out, but it wasn't like a Halloween party like what we do. There was, when I was younger, a friend, this is elementary school, her mom did it up. Her mom would be a clown sometimes, and so...
Like professionally?
Yeah, like she'd do it.
Oh, wow.
But I mean, it wasn't her full-time job. But she was at the library, she'd be a clown. And so I think she dressed up as a clown that year, but she did a Halloween party for the kids. And so all the kids came over, and, you know, you stuck your hand in the stuff. And then I remember something because I was scared to do it, but you sat on a balloon and she came and popped it under you, and you just went, ka-bonk. I have no idea what the game was. I have no idea why it happened.
That was just her torturing kids.
Possibly. But I was scared to do it because I thought my butt was really going to hurt when I went.
It will. You break your daggone coccyx.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So I remember that, but I don't remember anything else.
Because that's her taking it. It's not you doing it. It's her doing it.
Yeah. And I don't remember anything.
Do you remember if it was hardwood floor or carpet? That makes a difference.
I think it was carpet. Yeah.
Oh, that helps.
Yeah. But anyway. I went trick-or-treating. I remember I went trick-or-treating and having fun, but that's like an official Halloween party like what we do, and they do it up big. That one when I was little, that's the only one I really remember. I don't really remember much about it. But yeah.
So I remember my neighbor way down the street.
Did it up way bigger than
you remember the lions at our old neighborhood? People had lions at the front of their driveway.
Mm-hmm.
Across the road from them was a girl that was probably closer to my brother's age, and she had a little sister. And they moved away long ago. This might have been their last year. And I was probably 11 or 12. And went to their house, and they told scary stories.
Ah.
And they played games, and I don't remember.
We should tell some scary stories.
But I don't remember a bunch of that, right?
Yeah.
But what I remember was I come home and Mom said, "Did you have fun?" "Yeah." "What's the matter?" "I didn't get to trick or treat."
Oh, it was on Halloween.
Yeah, it was like you got a little goodie bag to take home.
Yeah.
But dude, trick or treating, you get
candy.
We had back when in the 80s. Part of one of the nights leading up to Halloween, you carved the pumpkin, but another night, Mom bought you a Kmart pillowcase, and you took your magic markers and you drew on your pillowcase, and you carried your pillowcase house to house. Yeah. You filled up a large pillowcase with candy.
Wow. That's cool.
So coming home with this little satchel handful of candy, and ghost stories, and following them from room to room in their house.
You shouldn't have done it on Halloween.
With Michael Jackson, Thriller. Thriller! It's played everywhere now. But if you were alive in 85, 86, 87, 88, oh my gosh, it was nonstop. Every Halloween party, everywhere you went, it was just Thriller was everywhere. It was everywhere.
Were you sick of it?
I'm not going to say that. It's everywhere. It was everywhere. I never did learn to dance.
Just because you like it now doesn't mean you weren't sick of it as a kid hearing
I was
it
sick
that
of
often.
it. I was sick of it.
Yeah.
They played it in school. Every classroom played it in school. I had one music teacher that wouldn't be allowed nowadays. But she would, you got picked for music class maybe once a month, once every 2 weeks is the only time you got to do music class when I was in the 3rd grade.
Huh.
You got to try out different instruments, and then you try to put something together, and she was teaching you music.
Okay.
And I think you only went to class once every 2 weeks, once a month. It was very slim. But when you got to go around Halloween, that was my favorite. Because she had things hanging from everything of her drop ceilings all Halloween. I mean, that's part of where my love came from. Do I remember the teacher's name? No. Do I remember what she looked like? Could I pick her out of a lineup? No. Do I love that lady? Yes. Do I say that she has my love for magic? For Halloween, she inspired a lot of that. Yes.
Yeah.
She would turn out the lights to be completely pitch black in the room, and she would run around the room and she'd say, "Happy Halloween," and she right in front of kids' faces. How she could see, I have no idea. I don't.
She had night vision goggles.
As an adult, I still don't know how she was going around the room. But and she'd play music, and you'd hear witches' cauldrons.
They wouldn't be able to do that nowadays.
You can't. Scare
They can't even. They can't. I doubt they can dress up for Halloween. I remember dressing up in our costumes when I was in elementary school.
I don't know if they let you anymore.
And we got to go. Oh, they also had a Christmas tree in the corner.
Yeah.
Like when you entered the school at Christmas time. They don't do that anymore either. But yeah,
Do they not do Christmas at all anymore in school?
I don't think so. It's Happy Holidays. It could, maybe, but they probably have to have one of everything.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I don't know either. But yeah, I remember when I was in 4th or 5th grade, we went in dressed in our costumes for the day. That was fun.
But when I was little, I remember dressing up as one of my favorite memories, two of my favorite memories. I watched Halloween. I'm going to get the name wrong, and it's just escaping me right now. As soon as I end this podcast, it'll come to me.
Of course.
It was Freddy Krueger hosted it. The guy, Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger. Halloween Horror Nights, something. But it was at Universal Studios. And they did it like an Oscars of horror movies.
Oh,
so they told you stories about, behind the scenes, about filming. And then they gave an award, like Screen Queen of the Year goes to whatever. And Lifetime Achievement Award goes to Jamie Lee Curtis. And she'd come up and accept the award and talk about the movie Halloween. And it was awesome. But then right before commercials, for the intros and outros of commercials, they would have this special effects makeup artist show you a little addition to something.
Yeah.
And he took Knox gelatin, the stuff that makes Jell-O. You get the packages. You put food coloring in it. And you make Jell-O. You make Knox gelatin. But you don't cook it. You don't do everything. You just put food coloring in it, a little bit of hot water, and mix it up. And as it goos, you can paint it on your face with a popsicle stick. It'll harden. It'll dry. So you got to put some Vaseline around the edges because it'll dry. But boy, you can make great scars with it. I did scars before and put safety pins in it, like holding the wound together.
Yeah.
But I did, when I first learned how to do it, I just put red and blue and purples, and then I put black paint anywhere just my regular skin was showing. And it looked like some kind of victim. I don't know. Well, I got ran over by a car. I don't know what it looked like.
Yeah.
But I put a Jason hockey mask over it. So then people said, take your mask off. I did that. And they were like, that's exactly what it looked like in the movie. His interpretation is correct. And the kids were wrong. He didn't look like that at all. But the kids are probably too afraid to watch it. And I'd seen that movie a million times.
Yeah.
This looks nothing like him underneath that mask. But it's something. It's something.
Yeah.
I had a great time with that.
That's fun.
And another time I was Freddy Krueger. And I had gardening glove. And I feel like I made it myself, but I'm not 100% sure. But I popsicle sticks for each finger, because you can't have knives in school. You can't have anything that resembles plastic. I couldn't even have a plastic knife on these things.
Yeah.
And then I painted each one of them with a magic marker red to make it look like blood. But it was just a gardening glove, and that was it. So.
That's cute.
I think I still have it in the attic. I can't bring myself to throw it away.
No.
From when I was 7 years old, 8 years old.
I don't remember seeing it. It must be with the costumes now. I don't go through the costumes.
Yeah, it's in the bottom of one of those bins. What else we got? Let's see. Why don't you go and do the history of Halloween? She looked up something today. We live in the Bible Belt of America. So, This is the Bible Belt of America.
Yeah.
I have had people literally curse me out saying that I do magic for a living. How dare you?
Right.
I don't think you get that in other places. I was having a conversation with a magician in New Jersey, and he said, yeah, things are different down there. I did a church show, and they didn't want me using cards. They didn't want me doing this. They didn't want me doing that. It's not like that in New Jersey. But he got lectured even doing magic at all in the Bible Belt. That's totally different.
Yep.
So just know we're from the Bible Belt.
Yeah.
So there are people like protest Halloween around us.
Yeah, they say it's evil, and they say it's not. If you're a Christian, you shouldn't celebrate it. Which, I'm a Christian, and I just think it's fun. I just think it's a fun time for everybody, all ages, to dress up, have a good time, be a little goofy, and the kids to go get candy. What is evil about that? It's not like I'm out worshiping the devil, playing with spirits. So
when we go in the woods and Halloween, our little haunted trails, we're throwing Easter eggs. We're throwing real eggs at zombie statues in the woods. I mean, it's just fun.
Yeah.
It's just fun. It's
right.
just silly.
Yeah. So this says that Halloween is a commingled word formed from both All Hallows and even, or een, the Scottish word for evening, and hallow means to make holy. So Halloween is meant to refer to the evening before All Hallows Day, also known as All Saints' Day, a religious holiday in the Roman Catholic and many Protestant denominations of Christianity to honor Christians who have died, also called saints, and gone to heaven. All Saints' Day, also called All Hallows Day, All Hallows Day, and Hallowmas, is celebrated November 1st, which is why Halloween is celebrated October 31st. The day after All Saints' Day, November 2nd, is called All Souls' Day and honors all who have died regardless of their religious beliefs and presumed afterlife destination. The Triple Day Festival is, in essence, a Christian observance known as Hallowtide, a commemorate to the dead. People would prepare for All Saints' Day beginning the evening before, that's Halloween, by holding prayer vigils and other honorary events. Eventually, as with many festivals, the holiday became more celebratory in nature, particularly given the time of year after the harvest when food was typically more plentiful. So, people think it's with a pagan holiday, but it's not. It says, because Halloween is the same time of the year as Samhain, many people have argued that Halloween has its root in the pagan holiday. Samhain is a Gaelic or Celtic festival that translates to summer's end and marks the end of the harvest and the beginning of the darker winter time of year. However, most scholars believe that Samhain and true Halloween are two very different occasions for a couple of key reasons. First, the original All Saints, All Hallows Day was held in May, which is not the time of Samhain. Secondly, very little was known by the church at that time about Samhain, as the Celtic people did not keep many, if any, written records before Christianity spread to their region. So it doesn't seem likely that a church thousands of miles away in Rome would orchestrate a major religious festival simply to tie it to a seasonal celebration marked only by a handful of people in the northern Celtic region of the world. So it says, still, while Halloween's origins are Christian, as with many religious occasions, traditions over the years have commingled, and today's Halloween seems to celebrate not only the departed saints and souls, but also other customs from the medieval to the secular. And then, let's see. It says that by spinning darker themes into the silly, from children masquerading as witches to using cheap sugary candy treats to ward off supernatural tricks, it's a way of making fun of evil, not glorifying it. So you're just having fun, right? So it has nothing to do with any pagan holidays. It was a Christian thing, a 3-day holidays, 3 holidays all combined together to celebrate the people who have already passed before you.
So, which one of those 3 days line up with Day of the Dead? Is that one of those days?
Isn't Day of the Dead the day after Halloween? All Saints' Day?
Is that All Saints' Day?
Yeah, because they're celebrating them. Let me see. Yeah, I think
All Saints'
so,
Day honors the saints, though.
All Saints' Day, also called All Hallows Day, All Hallows Day, and Hallowmas, is celebrated November 1st. And it says this Triple Day Festival is in essence a Christian observance known as Hallowtide to commemorate the dead. And that's what they're doing, only they do it in a different way, right? What did you call it? What is it called? Day of the Dead?
Day of the Dead, but they're most Mexican Spanish are Catholic, right?
Yeah, this was a Catholic thing. But it did say some Protestant. Oh, many Protestants. It's a religious holiday in the Roman Catholic and many Protestant denominations to honor Christians who have died and gone to heaven.
When is Day of the Dead? It's searching. Of course. You know what? Anytime I normally do this, it pops right up. But since I'm on a podcast...
When is Day of the Dead? November 2nd. So that makes sense. Because November 1st, it's for the people who go to heaven. And then this says November 2nd. There it is. It says All Saints Day, All Souls Day.
Okay.
And it doesn't say Day of the Dead. But who have died regardless of their religious beliefs and presumed afterlife destination.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I read that earlier.
So they have a lot of Day of the Dead stuff when we go to Mexico. And just the crystal skulls? No, the sugar skulls.
Yeah.
Lana just loves that art. She loves that.
She does. She likes Day of the Dead stuff. She thinks it's neat looking.
And that there's a movie about it, right? Disney movie? I still haven't seen that.
Yeah, Coco or something like that.
Does that have something to do with Day of the Dead?
Is that right? Or they have a lot of Day of the Dead stuff, maybe?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
You'll have to ask Lana. She knows.
But anyway, so...
I don't think we're being evil by celebrating Halloween. I mean, people will believe what they want to believe. It's fine. You have your own beliefs. But for me, I don't feel like I'm sinning in any way, shape, or form by celebrating Halloween in the way that we celebrate Halloween. Letting our kids dress up in innocent costumes, us dressing up in innocent costumes, and going and getting candy, or us throwing our party and giving everybody who comes to our party candy and junk food, and just having a little bit of fun. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Don't poo-poo on our party.
It is an excuse to have a good time and to throw a party.
And we don't get to see our friends. When they throw parties, we're working.
And what an awesome excuse for adults just to be able to dress up and have fun.
Right.
I mean, what other holiday do you get as an adult to have as much fun as the kids do? I can't think of one.
No.
Enjoy it. Enjoy Halloween. You have my permission.
So, we just had Dave McGee on the podcast last week, and he sent me a message today that it's going around the internet, this video, saying that magic's evil because it says in the Bible that magicians, and they're like, no, those magicians weren't entertainers.
No.
And then they're like quoting some Bible thing about the guy that turned the staff into a serpent.
Moses.
And then the other two sorcerers were called to turn their sticks into a serpent, but his serpent ate those serpents. And see, that was all magicians. That was all magicians. And it's just like, you can't argue with them. You can't argue with them.
Again, we're not worshiping the devil. We're not summoning demons and evil spirits.
But see, this is one of those. This is one of those you can't prove a negative, because unless we tell you how we do every single trick we do, you're going to say you're right.
And then we have no job.
You know what I mean?
Right. So just, you got to trust us. You know what? I don't even care. If you think we're evil, you think we're evil. I know, Wes knows, God knows.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But
we're good.
We were doing a little bit of research for this one because I wanted to be different. I didn't want to just tell ghost stories like we did last year and look up stories independently. Mm-hmm. We might do that again next year. I don't know. But we started listening to podcasts about like urban legends. We started listening to ghost stories. We started listening to all kinds of stuff. But somehow we heard the story of Stingy Jack for the jack-o'-lantern, where that came from.
Yeah,
you remembered that better than I did. I think I was in and out of something. I don't know, because I had to ask you to like recap it or something. Sure that you did it right here, maybe. You did it on my phone.
Did I do it on your
phone?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. So Stingy Jack. I guess everybody knew him as Stingy Jack. I remember that part. But he was a
Celtic Irish story, right? It was happened over in Ireland or something, right?
I don't know. I can't remember. Because they used to have like turnips instead of pumpkins. But anyway, it's Jack-o'-lantern. But Jack, the devil came to collect his soul because it was time for him to die. And Jack was like, okay.
No. You got to start at the beginning.
Okay, go. What's the beginning?
He ripped Stingy Jack. He ripped off everybody.
Oh, okay.
He was known as a gambler. He was known as a drunk. He never held a job. He always just
tricked people.
Tricked his way out of every situation. Never had to keep a job. He was a hustler. He was a con artist.
Okay.
There you go. You
need
to know that going into it.
Okay, sorry. So, I told you I didn't remember that part. So, anyway.
I helped you.
So, it was time for him to die. The devil came for him because obviously he wasn't a good person, ripping everybody off. And he said, all right, I'll go with you. But just, can I have one thing before we leave? And the devil was like, what? Can I just have one more drink? I just want one more drink. And so the devil was like, all right, that's easy. So they went down to the bar. They had a couple drinks. And he said, okay, can you turn into a silver coin so that I can pay for the drinks and then we can go? And then I was like, well, that's easy. So he turned himself into a silver coin, and Jack took the coin and put it in his back pocket right next to a crucifix so that the devil couldn't turn back. So he made a deal, and he said, you got to give me 1 more year and I'll let you go. And the devil was like, well, he can't do anything unless he gets let go. So he's like, fine, 1 more year. So he takes him out of his pocket and the devil leaves. Year later, he comes for him, and he's like, no drinks, we're going. And he was like, can I just have 1 apple? I just want 1 apple before we go. And the devil was like, what can go wrong with having 1 apple? So the devil walks over the tree to grab an apple, gets it down, and while he's doing that, Stingy Jack puts crucifixes all around the tree, so he's stuck. He can't leave from around the tree. And so Jack says, okay, look, I will let you go, and you can do whatever. But when I die, you cannot take me to hell. I can't go to hell. I don't want to go to hell. So when I die, no going to hell. And the devil's like, fine. So he lets him go. And he lives, I don't even remember how much longer, but he ends up dying as an old man, and he starts to go up to heaven. And he gets to heaven. They're like, yeah, no, you can't come to heaven. You didn't live the life to come to heaven. So he goes down to hell. And the devil's like, sorry.
I made a deal.
Deal is a deal. You can't be in hell. And Jack's like, well, please let me in. I can't go to heaven. Please let me in. He's like, sorry. So he gives him a flame from hell's fire and gives it to him and says, that way you can see where you're going as you're wandering around all eternity. So Jack, and he puts it in a lantern for him. So Jack's walking around a lantern with fire from hell. And he is walking around all eternity. And they say you can see him every once in a while walking around with this lantern. But that's where they got jack-o'-lanterns from.
So if you ever see a guy in the middle of the night on your hiking trails with a lantern.
It might be jack-o'-lantern.
It might be Stingy Jack.
Stingy Jack with the jack-o'-lantern. But they also used to use turnips for jack-o'-lanterns.
Well, pumpkins were more...
Yeah, but pumpkins were more sturdy, is what they said, I think.
Well, pumpkins could feed a family. A pumpkin could feed a family, where a turnip, that was just like a root thing.
But it didn't last as long either. Like it wasn't as sturdy, so they started using pumpkins.
Right.
But they didn't have pumpkins wherever the story started.
Ireland, I thought. I thought it was all over there.
I don't know.
Celtic traditions in Ireland. And
I don't know.
But
anyway.
Anyway, another thing. So I told Natalie, I said, do some research for the podcast, and we'll try to compare notes. I don't have time. You can do some research.
I did a little bit.
So she sent me a little video for me to watch.
Mm-hmm.
That was 16 seconds long. Tell everybody about it. It was a cemetery.
I thought it was interesting. You're poo-pooing it.
No, I mean, there's all kinds of people like that, though.
That's mean.
I'm not trying to be mean, honey.
I have never heard of that before.
Ooh, go ahead.
There's tons of them out there?
Go, tell them.
Are there tons of them out there?
No, ma'am.
Are there? I really want to know.
I don't think that's
It's not
unheard of. It's unique, but it's not unheard of, I don't think.
Okay, well, not unheard of. I'd never heard of it. So there was some guy, I can't remember what they called it, but he was afraid of being buried alive. There's some sort of term for that. So you can still see it, but you can't see through it anymore because it's really, really old. It was like 1800s when he died. They put a glass window on his gravesite so that if he was still alive, he could break through. They also buried him with the chisel, and supposedly, because they showed the glass window.
The glass window looks really thick, and it looks like it's moisture on the inside, so there's little bubbles, and you can't really...
Yeah, you can't see through it anymore.
You can't see through the bottom layer.
Mm-mm. But, they didn't show anything else, so I don't know, but supposedly he had a, staircase built so if he got out of his coffin somehow, he could crawl his way up these steps and get out. And he was buried with a bell and a little what do I call it?
A chisel?
Chisel or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, because he was very, very afraid of being buried alive. And there's a name for that I don't remember what it was. It's on your video that I sent you. But I had never heard of anybody having a glass window in their
Coffin? Cemetery?
coffin. It's the
Headstone?
Yeah, and their headstone before. I'd never heard of that.
But that's where the phrase "Saved by the Bell" came from.
I know the bell thing.
They would put bells in people because
on
people
the
would
coffin
ring
and
them
ring the bell, but I've never heard of a glass
to see.
window
Yeah, to see.
to see down. I've heard of the bell thing.
Well, what are you looking at? Or would you be looking at his head? I don't know in the video.
I don't know either. That's why I'm like, you can't see down it, so I don't know if it's a straight shot down to the guy's head to see if he's like...
Can you imagine the
Because that's a long way up to have to climb through dirt. I don't think you can do it.
You can't open the coffin under dirt.
Right, so that's why I don't understand how
Are you looking down at the coffin?
How does the stairwell work? I mean, it has to have an opening right there at his coffin so that when he gets through the coffin...
And they can't close the coffin.
Well, you close the coffin, but he could chisel through the side of the coffin to get out.
And all that dirt caves in.
Not if it goes straight to the little opening for the stairway. There's like a wall.
Don't ever try to bury it alive trick. The dirt will cave in.
Okay, you're not understanding what I'm saying. If there is
draw me a picture.
Dirt all around this right here.
Right.
Right? And it's a doorway, like those houses that are built out of the
in the basement?
In the basement, but the ones that they're built right into a hill.
Okay.
Okay? They don't have dirt caving down the front door.
When I start chiseling a hole and putting that dirt, I have to put it somewhere.
This is like the front door, the side of the coffin, or the head of the coffin, or wherever you put. You can see the coffin where the stairs go. There's like a room.
But what am I chiseling? Everything beside my coffin.
No! You just chisel through the side of your coffin. And ta-da! You get out.
Oh, I see, I think. I got you. You're trying to say...
You're not digging through dirt.
You're trying to say the coffin's here, and there's a room here.
Right.
There's no dirt here.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. I don't even know if there's dirt. Maybe they just put them in a concrete hole.
I don't even know that there's a stairway. They didn't say that there's a stair. They didn't show the stairway. I mean, they just said there's a stairway. That could be a myth.
Well, here's the other thing. If that's somebody's last wishes. If you don't give them a stairway, that dude's coming back for you one way or the other, whether he's got stairs or not. I saw one that was just sad that I showed you. It was just sad. It wasn't anything cool or nifty, neat about it.
No,
it was like in 1930, little girl was like 3 years old, passed away. And the dad built her a playhouse and buried her in the playhouse. And all of her toys are lined up around it. But dude, it's like a miniature house.
Yeah.
It's a brick home with awnings, a mailbox.
It's like the size of a little kid's room.
It's at least 10 by 10.
So, and then they have her grave marker on one side. That's where she's buried. They have that there with a couple dolls on top. And then over here on the other side, there's,
a table.
A teddy bear on a bicycle and dolls and all sorts of stuff. She's got a little, outside of it has those little pinwheels that go in the wind, and there's a little mailbox, and it would make a cute little playhouse. But they said she wanted one, and her dad he couldn't finish it before she died. So he finished it, and they buried her there. And apparently they put up a whole cemetery around them. But then the mom is buried, like, in the front yard. It has a little brick wall around it that's a foot high all the way around the thing. So the mom is buried inside the wall, like in the front yard, and the dad is buried inside the wall, like on the side yard.
And both their tombs say, Mommy to Lily.
The little girl was, yeah.
Daddy to Lily.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, that's what they're known for in life.
Yeah.
Because she has the mausoleum. We're just,
Mom,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, but she died when she was like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Poor
Not fun.
No.
Talking about death, talking about all this stuff. Colon, Michigan, Abbott's has a cemetery with like 30 famous magicians buried there.
Yeah.
If you ever find yourself in Colon, Michigan.
I think you've talked about this before.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's Halloween. I'm talking about graveyards.
Okay.
But, I mean, we went there, and I think Denny from Denny and Lee's buried there now.
Is he?
I know Tom Mullica is. But Harry Blackstone, Senior, Junior, there's a whole bunch. Carol Fox. But we went there, and the guy was like, who are you going to go visit?
There was a guy
Chisling's a female. So the male magician had died, and they were adding a wife. The wife had just passed away, and he was hand chiseling it. Who are you coming to visit? Because he knows the cemetery. He's going to tell me exactly where to go. I said, dude, I'm a magician from Virginia. This place is known to have all these famous magicians. We're just wasting some time. Well, in your opinion, who's the most famous one out here? Blackstone over there? He said, come here. He goes in the trunk of his car and gets an onion sheet out and takes it over to Blackstone's grave and just traces it for me and gives me a rubbing of black. That was priceless to me.
Yeah.
Still haven't framed it. I have it hung up behind my wall here.
Yeah.
But amazing. That was just taking home a piece of history like that. Was just so cool. So that was. Yeah. I don't know that guy's name. Thank you, sir. But you made my day. I mean, that was so awesome.
Yeah, that was
so awesome. What else you got, Natalie? How are we doing on time?
We got like 3 more minutes left.
So this year we are doing Last year we did Scooby-Doo. Mm-hmm. So we did a Scooby-Doo mystery in the front yard.
Yeah.
Where we had to,
when it was still light out.
We had to solve clues and solve the mystery. And
yeah.
It took people to different spots of our front yard. Yeah. We have 5 acres out here. We've got some land
and
to play.
Nobody ever goes to the front yard during the party, and that's where we have all our carved pumpkins and more decorations and graveyard and everything. And so we were like, let's take them to the front yard, see the rest of the decorations.
So we're doing that again this year.
Yeah.
So, I think even if people come to a party and hear this, it won't be a big thing. No. We're doing another game out front, but this year everything
Just don't give away clues.
No, I'm not going to give away.
Okay.
But this year everything's like DC themed, right?
Yes.
Because we get the Flash and Batman and Wonder Woman and who am I? I'm the Riddler and Harley Quinn,
the Flash, Superman. Yeah.
So we have games out front for that, and it's all DC themed with a big prize at the end.
And we're going to do that during the daytime again.
And then at nighttime, we definitely have throwing eggs at something.
Because that was a favorite last year.
Everybody loved it.
Yep.
So I've been collecting eggs for my chickens all week long, and I have a box that is so big. I must have, do you think it's 60 eggs?
I don't know. It's a lot of eggs. But that way, I mean, we can always reuse ones that don't break. But that way, if they do break, we got more. So, it's fine.
Well, and I have 15 dozen in the fridge.
Right.
We're so backed up on eggs right now.
Although I am going to use a few for the baking.
Oh, well, that's fine. I have 15 dozen. But Lana has been working her butt off. I took the projector.
She's done so good.
I took the projector, and I'll put pictures on the Facebook group for the podcast. Wes Iseli's Magiclife Facebook group for the podcast here. We have the penguin. We're going to do I think in the front yard. Is that in the back? It's in the back.
That's in the back. They're both in the back.
So we have a penguin that's probably 4 feet tall.
Mm-hmm.
And I took my projector and kind of traced it with a marker real crappy fast. And I'll figure it out later. And then I had this piece of 8-foot plywood. Mm-hmm. And I took the projector and did a Joker out there. But like DC Comics, WB Network in the 90s Joker penguin
right.
in that I tried to keep the characters the same.
Right.
I didn't want
like the Heath Ledger.
I didn't want a Heath Ledger Joker and a modern penguin or Danny DeVito penguin and a Heath Ledger Joker.
Right.
It's all that cartoon.
Right.
But I just traced it real fast and did it. And I'm looking at it, and I took art classes in school. I did this, but it's like, we're going to throw eggs at it.
Yeah.
It doesn't, just do it fast. But Lana's like, no, look, if you look at that black shirt I'm wearing right now, and I was to paint that, it's black here on my right shoulder, but if you go on my left shoulder, it's black, but it's a hint of gray here where the light's reflecting off of it. And she's going in there and giving it that much detail.
Little Miss Artist is doing a really, really good job.
But if you look at my shirt right now, it's black on my right shoulder, and it's grayer here. So she would change colors of paint to do that color shoulder there. Instead of just saying it's a black sweatshirt with... No, she's doing all these different highlights and everything.
She's mixing paints together to make the right colors. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yep.
Amazing.
We stopped on the way home from ballet at Walmart to get her more paint so she can finish. She's working on the Joker right now. She finished the Penguin. She's working on the Joker right now. And she's doing a really good job. Like, they look good. Like, I don't want to throw eggs at them anymore.
And then what are we going to do after Halloween? She said, what are we doing with them? I'm putting so much work into them. I said, honey, we're going to throw eggs at it. And I
throw it away because it's going to smell.
Be used as a project. I can take a water hose to it. I guess it'll be used as a project. We'll build something with it.
Yeah.
But we'll have pictures. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Because I can't keep that. I would love to, but I can't. Where am I going to put it?
I know.
Right? Like our banners from the farm. I have these big banners with me and Natalie on the banners, and it says the show times and my logos on it, and Fool Us Winter and all this stuff on these banners. I've used them for 3 or 4 years now, 3 years at least. He's changed the hours next year. I'm there more.
Oh, he changed the hours this year, and it didn't match, but we put him up anyway.
Well, he didn't sign the contract till 2 days before this year.
Right, but I think I don't think you put times up. I think you just put Saturdays and Sunday, every Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah. Because what happened was we put up that we were there from 12 to 4, and people got there at 12. Like, when's the show going to start?
Yeah, they thought it was going to be a 4-hour show. We're like, we're not doing a 4-hour show. We're doing a half-hour show, and we're doing it 1 half-hour show every hour. So,
yeah.
But, yeah, so, anyway. That's okay. That's why I'm like, just don't put times on the new ones. If you get new ones, don't put times on them.
When we first got there years ago, we would have to drum up a crowd to bring them over to me.
Yeah.
We would have to drum up a crowd.
Yeah.
Now I do it to fill in the back rows, to tell people that there's a show going.
Yeah. But
also to let the boss know there's another show happening. Kind of gives him 45 minutes to know he needs a lunch in 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
That kind of lets them know up front that I'm working.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Do I need to walk around and do that all the time? No, but I think they like it. I'm going the extra mile. I told that to Mr. Potato Head today. I said, I'm working my butt off, but I also like to go the extra mile for customers, and I'm definitely doing that at this farm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, so we have the haunted stuff outside. We're going to throw eggs at that. I got dice. I got a bin full of dice at the Magic auction this year at MAES. And they're like, what are you going to do with all those? I don't know. But I'm thinking that people get to the exhibits and they roll a jumbo die. It's this big, but it's like styrofoam. It's soft, like plastic or something. But they roll that. That's how many eggs they get.
Okay.
And then above the Joker, if they hit the target above the Joker that's on a hinge, they knock that down. Go ahead, Natalie. You can reveal that secret.
They get to pie Wes in the face.
Come on. That'd be fun. Will anybody do it? I don't know. Will everybody do it? Absolutely not. People had trouble throwing eggs last year.
And a zombie that was 3 feet tall. Yeah.
So that's why I think they have that thing where the water goes down and people waste all their money. Yeah. It's hard to hit a target that big.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have a target as big as 2 cell phones.
Yeah.
Above an 8-foot thing. And if they hit that and it falls back, they get to pie me in the face.
Yeah.
Don't forget to add extra pie cream because we have to make those and the bases. I guess just paper plate.
Yeah.
Paper plate and whipped cream's all we need, really, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta make a list.
I think they'll love that. I think that'll be fun. But that's our Halloween episode, guys. I hope you had fun.
Happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween! And we have lots more surprises for you coming up. I have a whole list of people that we got to get through. I had to get through this crazy month. We were going a little crazy with everything going on.
It was
with her doing magic classes and her taking Lana to school, me teaching classes, and then every day off we had to leave the house to either do shows or that's the day we had to go shopping.
That was the shopping day. Or we wanted to do family fun things. Well, that's the day you have to do it, so go do it.
We had one day,
Yeah. Yeah, that week we went apple picking. It was ballet, musical theater. You were teaching classes. Then we went clothes shopping. Friday, we went apple picking. Woo!
And then Saturday, Sunday, back to the farm.
We still had to do homeschool all in there, too. And work, and...
yeah. It's crazy. People have no idea.
But you got to make time for the fun stuff, too, though.
And that's why we're forcing this in. We're doing it the day after Halloween this year, because... we're working all the way up to Halloween.
Our party, yeah.
Yeah.
We always do it after Halloween, but normally it's on the Saturday, but we have a show. So we're like, because I didn't think, I was like, oh yeah, that day's open, and I was like, oops, we usually do it. Wes, we're doing it on Friday this year. So that's what we're doing.
So we'll see if that affects how many people show up. But right now we have, 26?
Something like that.
Something like 26 people showing.
That'll be good.
But I think we invited 40. But
there's always people that end up not showing up even though they said they come. But who cares? We're going to have fun anyway.
I had a bad day at work.
Right.
I'm tired.
We planned for you. Come.
That's all right. We'll have fun.
It's fine. Yeah, we'll have fun.
We're going to have a blast either way.
Yep.
And we have an illusion show the following day.
Right.
I just put that on social media today. So I just want you to be aware.
Well, it's just one.
Just one illusion in that show?
Yeah.
So that'd be fast. That'd be fast.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey guys, that's our Halloween episode. We'll see you soon. The only thing we have left to say is see you next week.
Okay.
Check us out online at wesisley.com and patreon.com/Wes_Isley for behind-the-scenes videos, blooper videos, never-before-seen footage, discounts on merchandise, magic trick tutorials, and more. That's Wes Iseli, spelled Wesiseli.